Today I wanted to introduce to you a simple lead generation AI agent using OpenAI and Google Maps and Serp API. So for this agent, what you have is you have a chat where you can talk to an AI agent using the OpenAI, and then you would use a tool to connect to Serp API, which uses the Google Map. And it gets all the data from Google Maps and returns back to you, and then you can store that result in a Google Sheets. So the example here, what I have here is I have this Google Sheets here where I have an example of all the salons in Seattle, Washington. So I have the name, the type, the address, the phone number, the website, the rating, reviews, hours, and data collected. And this one here, all this for the local businesses, we got it from the Google Maps Serp API. And then and let me show you the Serp API. This is the website that you can go to and collect your the API key. Then you have and then save that data to Google Sheets. And to give you an perspective on what it actually costs usually to use a lead example like Apollo. Here example using Apollo usually costs about $50 a month to get a decent amount of leads from Apollo. And on here it's actually it's cost per searches, and you get 100 searches a month. So I think that's plenty to collect the leads from and if I were to show you an example how this runs, I'll open it up and I'll say let's try in New York. Can you tell me a list of maybe 10 restaurants in the city where I can sell chatbot like services? And if I run this, it will go connect to it will go to agent to ChatGPT, and then it uses the Google Serp API tool, and it gets all the search results back, and then it will save that data to Google Sheets. And in the Google Sheets here actually get all the restaurant names. So it looks like it wasn't able to get 10, but at least it was able to get 5. And you got the address, and then for some reason there was no phone number and website, but I guess we can change the prompt later. And then you have the ratings, reviews, and the date it was collected. So that's the way you can get the leads. And to show you how this is designed, let me first is that the first node is a simple chat node, which is simple the default setup, so you are not doing any changes. For the AI agent, you have a chat trigger, the chat input, and the system prompt. And in the system prompt, it is laid out. You want to collect business name, address, phone number, website, email, and other details. And then you have more context, ethical guideline constraints, interactions, example, and more example, and output format, and additional context. So I have all these system prompts, and you can always refine something like ChatGPT to system prompt. And I'm using a ChatGPT 4 mini model because that's the cheapest model, and I'm using a memory to track the conversational history, so it can actually refer back to past history to know what was the past searches. And I have a Serp API here, which is an API that connects to the Serp, and you see here actually went to and did 4 searches, got the results. And for output, I have laid out an example here of what kind of structure of the output that I wanted. So in here you have the name, type, address, phone number, website, rating, reviews, hours, and data collected. So this here defines the example, perfect example of output data that I can get from the Serp API, and then I can structure that data in this format so that I can save that in Google Sheets. And that's the major setup. And then for the next node I have here is that I want to kind of combine, aggregate all the single sheets. So I'm using this split out node, and then a step to remove any duplicates. So here it found out that I don't have duplicates, so all the results are kept and not discarded. And then the last step here, node that I have here is the Google Sheets, where I'm connecting Google Sheets, sheet within the resource. I'm appending or updating current row, and then I'm getting it from the sheet name, lead generation, N8N Serp API. And then for sheets, I have the sheet number 2, or actually the Serp API gen. And then I have map each column manually with the names, and I'm matching those columns on names. And then I have matched all the values to be sent from this input node to the columns in the Google. I have matched to from name here to this column type here, this type column, address here to address column, phone number, and so on. So this is how I match the input variables or the columns to the columns in the Google Sheets, and that's it gets saved. And all the data, and but for some reason it didn't collect the it didn't maybe there is a limitation on the so it looks like the Serp API response wasn't returning a phone number or address, so maybe that's the reason. Maybe that's the way we can be the prompt. But I think you get the gist of how you can run this agent, and then you can use that to kind of generate your local leads in your city, and then use that to contact your local businesses to build any kind of AI agent or AI services. Okay, thank you.